During the day, mild-mannered Bruce Wilson is production coordinator for classic packaging. You know, bags and things. Around 4, he leaves work and heads for home. And for the last 3 years or so, to another job of sorts.
I was coming home from work and working from 4 till 10 o'clock. And I just wanted to get it done. Before I attended the Vancouver Film School, I had wanted to do my own film. And I went to the film school and made a student film that they ended up owning, so I went on to complete my own project that I would be in control of at the end.
The animation project is called Friday Night Idiot Box. 3 30-second animated shorts. Here's one about a boy and his dog. I dropped in on Bruce a few times at his Burnaby apartment.
Hi.
Early on, he showed me his project's timing sheets.
This is each frame.
There's 3 seconds to the sheet.
3 seconds per sheet.
Bruce's cartoon is similar in technique to DreamWorks' Road to El Dorado, but instead of 300 people and massive computing power, it's just him and some paper, pencils, and paints. He draws the frames with pencil on paper, then he traces onto cells or clear plastic sheets. Then he paints the cells. Bruce doesn't animate this way because it's necessarily better. He could buy a computer and software on which he could ink and paint his cells more quickly. He could hire in-betweeners to create the frames between his keyframes. No, he does it this way because it's the only way he can afford to do it. And as he says, he just did it.
Basically, there was no money. I just started working. When I needed funding, I booked an interview with Marv Newland, and he agreed to help me finish the project.
And why do you think Marv agreed?
He said he liked my stuff, and he thought it was funny.
Marv Newland heads up a collection of Vancouver renegade animators known as International Rocketship. And maybe Marv doesn't want to be known mainly for his first student cartoon, Bambi Meets Godzilla, but he is. His latest production is called Fov. Bruce came to Marv, and Marv saw talent. Enough talent that he said, hey, do it all yourself.
Because this is simple, forego the use of the computer and use your labors to ink your own drawings and paint them. And then we go direct to a negative by putting them under the animation camera. But Bruce came in with some video pencil tests, just line art of his ideas for a little film. And I liked what I saw. I thought it was charming, very funny, and simple, and it kind of fits in with the Rocketship way of making films and so on. And so I thought, oh, okay, but he's good. I like this. Let's do it. Let's make him.
What is the Rocketship way of doing films?
Well, I think that the Rocketship way is to find something that's interesting first, that's creator-driven, director, artist-driven, and that you can produce for not very much money. It's simple, 1 or 2 characters, not too many camera moves, and gets to the, if there is a point, gets to the point quickly within a 2 or 3 minute span.
Bruce's Friday Night Idiot Box is made up of 3 scenes, each involving someone or something watching a TV. None of them would make the cut on the Family Channel. But that's one nice thing about making something yourself. You're not pestered by censorship. Still, that doesn't mean there isn't a market out there for Bruce's cartoons.
You want to expose it to as many people as possible. I mean, anyone who makes films has to be thinking about an audience. I mean, if you're making films and not thinking about an audience, you're out of your mind. I mean, you're out of your mind for making movies anyway, but we want to get to festivals. We want to show it to world audiences. We want to show it to world broadcasters, and we want to get some TV sales, and we want to get it into a theatrical venue if we possibly could.
Once Bruce has drawn much of his cartoon on paper, he scans the paper into a computer for a line test. The line test lets him know if his vision is working. Does it time out? Does it look right? Should he keep his day job? Through the winter, through the spring, Bruce traces his drawings onto acetate cells, then paints them. They're painted on the back and then viewed from the other side. One layer of the cartoon is the room itself, and that's on only one cell, which will hold through the full 30 seconds. That's because he's doing every frame himself and he wants to save work. Well, everyone does this, but for a one-man operation, it's essential.
I would draw the whole boy on one level, and then if he moved an arm, then I would change it to 2 different separate levels, and the arm would be moving, and the boy, the rest of him would be still.
So he has 7 layers of cells in each frame. Many cells will be holds or held cells, parts of the picture that won't change for many frames. Although DreamWorks had as many as 20 levels or layers to each frame, many of them holding, their levels are digital and won't have the problem Bruce's layering might have. The timing sheet, or dope sheet, will tell the camera operator when to change one of the cells in the 7 layers. With the painting complete, Bruce takes the cells to Marv for a check. Marv notes a place where the falling boy doesn't quite leave frame.
They're pushing TV cutoff on a lot of this stuff, so when we do our transfer, we want to squeeze this.
Okay, so the TV cutoff's going to be here?
Yeah, but you can think of it as a film, but consider a TV, right?
So I should add another one?
Well, maybe one more drawing. Unless you just want to leave him there. I don't know, he's got a great expression on his face. The dog walks away. I don't know. It's your picture.
I'll put another drawing in there, I think.
Okay. You'll ink it and paint it on the same type of cell, right, so that there'll be consistency in the tint of the cell. If you go and each company that makes cells, they make a cell that has a certain density to it, a certain color to it, really. They're clear, but if you put them side by side, like a cartoon color cell and a chroma color cell and maybe some other company cell, they'll have like a little brown or a blue cast. The density of the whole scene will kind of do this little jump. So you try to remain consistent.
Back home, Bruce makes some corrections and waits for Marv to find some camera time and money. It's this stage with which Bruce needs the most help.
He could, theoretically, make the picture himself. We will help with the post-production. We'll get some sound effects. We'll get some music if he wants it. And also we have now, after all the years been in existence, established an outlet for the films.
Good morning, Bruce.
Finally, in November, Marv books camera operator Linka Belanger, and Al sends animation cameras. It's a relatively straightforward shoot, an easy one with no moving background.
Yeah, okay.
But Linka quickly sees what the problem might be.
Many levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a little unusual for animation. We're going to have to check the shadow. And
the deeper the pile of cells, the more likely the lights will cast a shadow. Fortunately, a black background solves the shadow problem.
We need the artwork C6. Yeah. Okay. And also C5.
It takes about 3 days to expose the 1.5 minutes worth of cells onto 35mm film. The shutter opens 2,160 times.
Okay, so my last...
What is the single most expensive part of this kind of animated project? Is it film development, or is it actually the shooting?
The processing, the making of soundtrack, there's neg cutting, there's answer print, and then there's making release prints if you go to that trouble. A lot of people make their pictures and they never even see film, they just go to video. So our pictures always see a film negative, and then we transfer that to video.
Why does it always see a film negative?
Because it's still the best way to preserve images. It will deteriorate slower than any digital masters. It will be the most versatile for either DVD broadcast or theatrical use. I mean, the film negative is the finest universal way to capture images, moving images.
Finally, Bruce's labor of love is given music and sound. Final cost? 3 years of afternoons and evenings, and about $20,000.
Can put this back.
There's even the possibility that Bruce might find money coming back to him.
The deal is simple. It's Rocketship spends money until your picture's finished. If and when money comes back, it's all used to pay off the hard costs of the film. Once we're even, then it's a split 50-50. So anything in the black goes half to the director and half to the producer.